great to be here with Superintendent Johnson, talking about the latest statistics that we are able to release about mobile phone use and how that's been protected in South Australian drivers. Mobile phone protection penalties. The figures that we're releasing today show that these mobile phone protection penalties are having a massive impact in persuading drivers to leave their phones at home. Mobile phone protections that we've had since we first turned the cameras on in June of last year. Through that 3-month grace period, where South Australian Police were detecting drivers and sending them a letter notifying them that they had been detected illegally using a mobile phone. And then after that 3 months, we were detecting something in the order of 1,300 drivers per day illegally using their mobile phone while they're driving. And by the time we got to the end of that grace period in September of last year, we started issuing fines. That had fallen to approximately 350 drivers per day. So really significant impacts that we've had on driver behaviour as a result of having these mobile phone protection cameras. And for the really good work of SAPOL, through that 3-month grace period, sending out those letters to South Australian motorists, letting them know that they had been detected illegally using a mobile phone, but because it was in the grace period, that they weren't receiving a fine. And then from that September, we've seen a protection rate fall from 350 drivers per day at the beginning of issuing fines So a really significant improvement. We're talking something in the order of 86% improvement in mobile phone protection. There's about 200 vehicles a day. That's still 200 drivers that are choosing to take their lives off the road, away from the task of driving, and instead of their mobile phones. There are few things that a driver can do behind the wheel that really looking at your mobile phone while you're driving rather than watching the road, you may as well be driving your own phone. We've got to continue sending this message out to the community. This is one of those dangerous things that a driver can be doing when they are behind the wheel. I'll ask Superintendent Johnson to talk about SAPOL's view of this and what it means for road safety.
Thank you, Minister. SAPOL absolutely acknowledges the decline in detections of illegal mobile phone use. It does indicate that drivers are acknowledging the dangers that distraction does present to all road users. Those dangers, it's well documented, and as the Minister mentioned, if you're looking at your mobile phone whilst driving, it absolutely is. You might as well be driving blind. We know that if a driver is travelling at 60 kilometres an hour and is distracted for a mere 2 seconds, that essentially they're driving for 33 metres without any eyes on the road. And that is absolutely a significant safety risk to themselves, to their passengers, and to all road users. Drivers who continue to use mobile phones illegally, they risk a $556 fine, and on top of that, another $102 victims of crime levy. They risk 3 demerit points. You risk losing your licence, and you're placing your own life and the lives of others at risk. SAPOL's message is if you continue to use your mobile phone whilst driving, then we will be out there to stop you. Thank you. I'm happy to take any questions.
Are you happy with the decrease? Were you expecting less people to be using their phones, or are you happy with the decrease?
So the decrease is acknowledged, and it indicates that drivers are now becoming aware of the dangers of distraction, and that is a good thing.
Are you still astounded that 200 motorists a day are still getting picked up by these cameras?
The fact that we've recorded 46,000 motorists in the first 6 months of operation is astounding. There's 46,000 motorists out there using their mobile phones illegally and have been detected. We've had some drivers detected on multiple occasions. Over 300 registered owners have been issued with 4 or more notices. Some registered owners have been issued with over 20. That is absolutely a serious concern for us at SAPOL, and we investigate all those matters.
Have the cameras still been picking up a lot of people who haven't been doing anything wrong? Because there has been some circumstances where someone's been given a fine and they're not holding through.
So all images are reviewed by our SAPOL section. So anyone who's actually issued a notice, it has been manually reviewed. So no, we don't have any issues in that space.
How many that have been questioned or objected to and then retracted the fine?
Sorry, just have to speak up.
How many images that have been reviewed and after you've given a fine you've then reversed?
Look, I'm not aware of any occasions. I'd have to, that's not my area, so. Yeah.
Last year you mentioned potentially cracking down on smartphone use. Smartwatch use. Did you have any updates on how you intend to monitor that?
So, smartwatches are not covered under the mobile phone legislation. However, we absolutely acknowledge that smartwatches, like anything, any activity in a vehicle, can be a form of distraction. So, if you're being distracted by your mobile phone, then that is a road safety risk, and there is legislation which covers that, inattention or due care, and you can be reported for that.
It's always been against the law to balance a phone on your lap, but having these cameras have exposed maybe just driver ignorance about that rule. Do you think these cameras have helped educate the public about this issue?
There's been a very important education piece, especially in relation to mobile phone just being that form of distraction. If it's in the car and it's distracting you and taking your eyes off the road, that's a road safety risk. So reinforcing the fact that a mobile phone cannot be sitting on your lap, it can't be touching you, even if it's on the seat next to you and you look at that, look at a message that pops up on the screen, that's a form of distraction and it's taking your eyes off the road, and that's an absolute safety risk.
While the cameras are focusing specifically on mobile phones, there are other things that these can catch. Are there any other road infringements that you've been cracking down on because of these cameras?
Yeah, so at this point in time, the cameras will just be detecting mobile phones.
One driver's been picked up 41 times in the first 6 months. I mean, what's your reaction to that?
Yeah, so as I said before, we investigate and review all fines, especially the recidivist multiple detections. For that investigation, we have an ongoing investigation into that driver. I can advise that driver at this stage is actually overseas, but upon their return, we will be investigating.
They won't have a licence when they get back?
I dare say we will be speaking with that driver. Yeah.
Do we have an update, Stephen, on where the...
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so just on it. We've got 2 more locations all of the mobile cameras that were announced previously by the government. We're still working through the detail of identifying those locations and doing some when it's been identified. And I should point out that these statistics reflect driving behaviour at the location continuing to send that clear message that this incredibly dangerous behaviour when you're behind the wheel will not be tolerated. So I just want to close the box. Yeah, we'll have more to say about that. I think when SAPOL has made its decisions that we're going to have this. We'll do an exercise in advance and we'll do it right now. Yeah, so there are criteria that factor into this. I mean, obviously we're interested in traffic volume where high numbers of motorists are using the roads. And then, I guess to your question, we also consider where there is a history of there being traffic controls or other dangerous behaviour that SAPOL has taken out on the road that will factor into SAPOL's considerations. Yeah, I mean, I think while the 5 locations are concentrated on very high traffic volume roads, we all also realise that there are other parts of the city, whether it's east, south, or this behaviour may well be occurring, and all of that will factor into SAPOL's consideration about whether they can consider this.
Now we have 6 months worth of data. Is there any sort of demographic
it's a really good question, actually. I can't answer that off the top of my head. I mean, clearly it's the demographic that feels most wedded to mobile phone use, and perhaps that's not necessarily the oldest amongst the driver cohort that